There is one final thing to learn before we end this section on configuring transitions. The create transition, which is the initial transition of a workflow, is special. First of all, it is automatically created when a new workflow is created from scratch. It is always present and is executed when a new issue is created. The initial transition cannot be deleted. The initial transition is called create if you created a blank workflow, or create issue if you copied the system workflow. You do not have to begin a workflow in the open status. You can simply redirect the create transition to go to a different initial status, such as new candidate shown in the image on the right. The second thing that makes it special is that the create transition does not have conditions. Notice that in the workflow editor, you do not see the Conditions tab to the left of Validators. The validator says that only users with Create Issues permission can execute this transition. Jira just looks at the Create Issues permission in the project's permission scheme to determine who is allowed to create any issues in the particular project which uses this workflow. Therefore, it is not normally possible to set create permissions per issue type in Jira. But there is a workflow customization that can be done via a marketplace app to work around this limitation by inserting a different validator in the create issue transition. This is reviewed in one of the requirements in the next section. Also notice that there are 3 essential post functions that are specific to a workflow's initial transition, but additional optional post functions can also be added to an initial transition. Finally, you can add post functions to the initial create transition. This can be useful if you need to perform processing tasks when an issue is created, such as setting the value of a particular field. But post function webhooks do not fire if added to the create issue workflow transition. We recommend that you configure your webhook to fire from the issue created event instead.